The town of Brooksville, population just under 5,000, was the kind of place people described as safe, ordinary, and almost untouched by time. A place where the biggest scandal was a broken stoplight, and the loudest noise most nights was the sound of crickets near Hollow Creek Woods. But on a cloudy Thursday afternoon in October, that illusion of safety was shattered forever. This is the story of 11-year-old Daniel Harper, a boy who walked home from school and never made it. A case that remains unsolved to this day, and a haunting mystery that still lingers in the shadows of Brooksville. Because some say Daniel Harper isn't just missing. Some say he never left. Daniel Harper was not the kind of boy you'd expect to vanish. He wasn't rebellious, he wasn't troubled, he wasn't the type to wander off. He was a bright, curious kid. He loved comic books, baseball cards, and drawing superheroes in the margins of his notebooks. His teachers described him as polite, sometimes shy, but always smiling. At home, Daniel was the heart of his family. His mother, Elaine, said he was her little gentleman, always holding doors open, always helping his younger sister, Emily, tie her shoes before school. He was cautious, too. He knew not to talk to strangers. He walked the same 3-block route from Brooksville Elementary to his house every day, never straying, never taking shortcuts. He was predictable, safe, the kind of child you could trust to make it home. But on October 14th, 2010, he didn't. That Thursday began like any other. The school bell rang at 3 p.m. and children spilled into the crisp autumn air.
But no matter how many times they called, "Daniel! Daniel!" the streets only echoed the sound back, hollow and mocking. Police retraced Daniel's steps. They questioned classmates, teachers, bus drivers, shop owners. A retired couple living near Pine Street swore they saw him at 3:15 walking toward his home. But after that, the trail went cold. Then, the next morning, search teams discovered something strange. Daniel's backpack. It wasn't hidden. It wasn't discarded. It wasn't torn. It was neatly propped against the base of a tree at the edge of Hollow Creek Woods. Inside, everything was intact. Books, pencils, even his lunchbox, unopened. It was as if someone had placed it there deliberately. For as long as anyone could remember, Hollow Creek Woods carried a reputation. Parents told their children to avoid it. Stories circulated of strange noises, whispers, footsteps, cries when no one was inside. Teenagers dared each other to go in at night, and many came out shaken, claiming they'd heard voices calling their names. The woods were thick, gnarled, and unforgiving. Once you stepped in, the silence swallowed you whole. And now, at the edge of those cursed woods, lay Daniel's backpack. Some searchers refused to step inside. Others swore that, just beyond the tree line, they saw movement, like a tall shadow darting between the trees. Police dismissed it as hysteria, but locals weren't so sure. Within days, strange reports began to surface. Several residents claimed that late at night they heard knocking on their doors, always 3 sharp raps. When they opened up, no one was there. But in at least 2 cases, muddy child-sized footprints were found on their porches. One woman, a neighbor just 2 blocks from the Harpers, said she awoke to a voice calling her name from outside her bedroom window. It was faint, trembling, a boy's voice, and it said, "Mom, can you let me in?" When she pulled the curtain back, the yard was empty, just grass moving in the cold wind. She never slept with the window open again.
The official theory was abduction. Police suggested Daniel had been lured, snatched, hidden away. But others weren't so sure. Because if it were a human predator, why leave the backpack untouched? Why risk discovery at the wood's edge? And what about the voices, the knocks, the laughter some swore they heard drifting through the streets on quiet nights? Brooksville was changing. Children were no longer allowed to walk home alone. Neighbors stopped trusting each other. And Hollow Creek Woods, it became a place no one dared go near after sunset. October 14th, 2011, 1 year since Daniel Harper vanished. The town gathered at Brooksville Elementary for a candlelight vigil. Hundreds of flickering flames lit the night, each one a prayer, a hope, a desperate plea. As the final words were spoken, a sudden gust of wind tore through the crowd. Every candle went out. Gasps filled the dark. Some attendees claimed they heard something riding on the wind. Not a scream, not a whisper, but a soft, playful giggle. The unmistakable laugh of a child. To this day, Daniel Harper's disappearance remains unsolved. No body, no suspect, no closure. Just a boy who left school and vanished between 3 short blocks and eternity. But in Brooksville, the case is never far from people's minds, because some believe Daniel is still here. That if you walk to the edge of Hollow Creek Woods on a quiet night, you'll hear him. A faint rustle, a boy's voice calling out from the dark, "I'm still here." And the question that lingers isn't just what happened to Daniel Harper. It's whether Brooksville lost a child that day, or whether the woods claimed one.
If stories like this keep you on the edge of your seat, don't let this be the last one you hear. Hit that subscribe button and join us here on Shadow Files, where the darkest mysteries never truly rest.